The break is presented by Browning Trail Cameras. You've got to see this. Closed captioning is brought to you by Bison Coolers.
Well, it is burning up today, the dog days of summer. It's August 21st. It's time to start getting some of your food plots in. All right, it's October 28th, kicking off my deer season. Hopefully we're gonna need that. Youth season in Missouri is early November, and we've got a couple bucks on the hit list at the home farm. I'll hunt that blind tomorrow when it's super cold. Supposed to be 20, 30 mile an hour winds. I'm gonna put a buck decoy out there and I'm gonna hunt this stand. Hopefully I don't hunt this stand. I'll kill tomorrow in the blind. But if I don't, I'll hunt this stand on Wednesday. I think you were sleeping up there, brother. Well, it is burning up today, the dog days of summer. It's August 21st. It's time to start getting some of your food plots in. Today I'm putting in radishes, turnips, and a blend that calls to be planted about this time of year here where I live. So this is the strip plot. I got it worked up. I got the seed on top of the ground, and I just got to go get the hauer and just drag it in. And then this one will be done. Strip plot, I actually planted clover in it in February or March, and it just didn't do very well. That's my fault. I didn't have time to come in here and spray for weeds. You can see back there, all that Johnson grass, it just completely took over. I actually worked up the whole thing for clover this spring, but it didn't happen, so worked this up. I had radishes in here last year, which is why I put them in here again, because the deer absolutely hammered them in this spot right here. Got the gate plot tilled up, got the seed on the ground. Same thing, I just got to go get the hauer and drag it in when I do this one. I actually worked up the interstate plot, but I'm not going to plant it yet. I just wanted to kill some weeds. There was a lot of grass on that one, so just worked it up, and I will plant it. I'm going to put buck forage oats in it probably about mid-September, so I'm going to wait on that one. I'm doing all this work for the family this year. I'm not even going to hunt here at the whole farm. Maybe I'll kill a doe or something like that, but I'm pretty much off limits here. Hopefully, my dad, we can get him this really good buck that's back here. He was about a mid-130s last year as a 10-point. I got a ton of pictures of him here on this strip plot and also on the gate plot. So hopefully, with any luck, Dad will kill him. He's gonna get him a crossbow and try to get it done. So getting this one set up for him. And then Drew's gonna bow hunt this year too. It'll be his first year bow hunting. So we'll see, maybe he'll get a crack at that Big 10, but hopefully my dad will. There's a nice 8. There'd be a pretty nice 8 for Drew to kill his first buck with a bow. So, I know he's younger, but that's okay. Be a great first buck with a bow. But that's it. Done with my food plots. Once I get them drug in, and it'll be time to start hunting. I'll start in Kentucky most likely first part of September, and just see what happens. I'm looking for a good year. 2019 was, let's just say, a different year for me. Typically, once September hits, I'm deer hunting until Thanksgiving. But in 2019, my hunting season kicked off on a dove hunt with the Niestedt Foundation. Which dove hunting doesn't really interfere with deer hunting since Missouri's bow season opens on September 15th. Well, our first hunt with Maggie here, and we got our limit. She did awesome. But I also booked a trip to Saskatchewan to waterfowl hunt with Locked Up Outfitters in mid-September. It was an awesome week of waterfowl hunting, and I certainly want to go back soon. Go on these honkers? Hey! Gotta be shooting, Ace! October included a week of elk hunting at Hooker Mountain Outfitters with my dad. In previous years, I bow hunted in late August and early September, but in 2019, I went on my first rifle elk hunt.
You can take that shot right there and take it.
Good job.
Man.
I wasn't sure about that.
You hit it perfect.
That's a dandy, I believe, isn't it? I mean,
He's a nice 5 point.
That was also a great hunt, and I am going back again this year. So if you notice a common theme here, a week-long trip in September, a week-long trip in October, with my real job, and yes, I do have a real job. I don't work on a set schedule. I'm on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Instead of a normal Monday through Friday work week with weekends off, I get a total of 7 days off per month, and I can generally take them whenever I want. So to go on these 2 trips, I had to burn all of my off days, leaving me basically no time to deer hunt in September and October. My first sit of 2019 wasn't until October 28th, and I could not wait to get in the tree.
For as long as I can remember, the Browning name has meant something to people in the outdoors. So when I went looking for a trail camera that I could depend on, there was only one name that came to mind: Browning Trail Cameras. So if you're looking for a trail camera that's easy to use, is unbelievably reliable, and takes amazing pictures and videos, there's only one brand that I trust: Browning Trail Cameras.
Browning Speed combines advanced fabrics, tailored fit, and innovative camouflage. Hunt harder, faster, and stronger than ever. Speed, killer clothing.
This segment is brought to you by HHA Sports.
Here we go, off Charleston, Missouri. We're gonna hunt with the Soggy Bottom Boys, the A.H. Marshall, and he's got us set up on one of his properties that he's trying to lease. He just acquired a whole bunch of new property, so he invited us down to hunt it today. So that's where we're headed, and be hunting here in about 45 minutes. Hopefully we're gonna need that. All right, it's October 28th. I'm kicking off my deer season. First time in the tree stand. Normally this time of year I'd already have like 20 sits, but it's been a busy year. I'm out here hunting with the Soggy Bottom Boys outfitters, A.H. Marshall. This is in the Thompson Bend area of Southeast Missouri, and if you're from Southeast Missouri, you know this area. It is known for big, giant river bottom bucks, and this place should have them. It's thick. There's big ag fields to the west of here, and deer just constantly moving through here. A.H. hunted here a couple times this year and told me he was seeing 20, 30 deer each evening sit. Just bucks cruising through here, deer cruising through here. So hopefully it's the pre-rut, just starting the pre-rut. The bucks are just now getting on their feet. Hopefully we'll catch one cruising through here and get a nice easy shot. I got shot lanes out to at least 40 yards in a few places, but for the most part, it should be within 30 yards, so cross our fingers and see what happens. Right out of the gate, it's still early. With the exception of one more little buck that snuck up on us and pegged us in the tree, that was it for my first hunt of the year. And that was my last hunt of October because, again, I've already spent all of my off days for the month. We get into November and I got 7 fresh days I can take off work, but I need to take full advantage of them. Checking my Browning trail cameras every chance I get, looking to see if mature bucks are daylighting or starting to chase. Youth season in Missouri is early November, and we've got a couple bucks on the hit list at the home farm. A tall 4-year-old 8-point and a big-bodied 5-year-old 8-point whose rack really hasn't grown since he was 2 years old. I was hoping Sam would get an opportunity at one of them, but they never showed. I go back to work after youth season, but I'm still checking cameras and watching the weather. November 11th. We've got a major cold front coming. I think it's time. starting to rain a little bit harder. It's getting colder. It's supposed to turn to snow later this afternoon once this cold front pushes through. And I'm gonna hang a stand back here where I killed my 10-point gun buck last year. And plan is I'll hunt that blind tomorrow when it's super cold. Supposed to be 20, 30 mile an hour winds. I'm gonna hunt with a decoy tomorrow. And there's a little cut through that ditch line that a buck in either field will be able to see that decoy and hopefully come check it out. So that's the plan for tomorrow when it's really cold, and then I'm gonna hunt this stand. Well, hopefully I don't hunt this stand. I'll kill tomorrow in the blind. But if I don't, I'll hunt this stand on Wednesday and do an all-day sit. Hopefully I'll get back here and kill again. Same place, same area I did last year. All right, stand is hung. You can see it behind me right there. I'm in a bottom here, really close to where I killed my buck last year, probably within, I don't know, 60 yards maybe. In fact, I think I was on top of that, on the side of that ridge right there. But got a huge scrape right over here, about 20 yards. Good trail right here. If they come down the trail, they'll be right on top of me. I'm hoping they come from the field. I can sneak in here around them. They come from the field and give me about a 20-yard shot. Otherwise, evening hunts are probably gonna be coming from deeper in the woods through this bottom. So, looks good. We'll get out of here while it's still raining. It's starting to rain hard, it's getting colder. Snow's coming.
Our veterans and those currently serving have selflessly volunteered for duty and risked their lives for the benefit of all Americans. With this in mind, the Niestedt Foundation was established to show gratitude for these individuals by providing the opportunity to participate in unbelievable outdoor experiences. Each event we organize is strongly rooted in our 4 guiding principles: respect, integrity, connecting individuals, and empowerment. Visit niestedt.org to discover how you can create a brighter America for those who have sacrificed so much.
This segment is brought to you by Alps Outdoors.
It's November 12th. It's a cold morning. I drove in here. My truck said it was 14 degrees. We've got a steady wind, about 10 to 15 mile an hour. Last night it was blowing 25 and 30 miles an hour. And this beans, I expect, as hard as the wind was blowing last night, I suspect that all the deer just bedded down, laid down, and hopefully they're going to be hitting these beans all day long. Hopefully we'll get some action. I'm going to start rattling right now. I'm going to rattle basically all day. Got the decoy set out there. I've never had much luck decoying and rattling. In fact, I think I can only recall ever having success one time, and it was here in this exact field on this farm. Well, it's November 14th. It's about 8 in the morning, and I'm just now set up. You might wonder why I'm just set up at 8 in the morning. The spot that I'm hunting today, the only access is through a cornfield. So if you come in here before daylight and drive in and walk across the field, you blow every deer out. So the strategy is to let the field clear and then come walking in, sneak through this creek bottom and get back in here and catch them traveling to bed. So hopefully I got around them. If not, they bed all through here, and this is the same area that I killed my buck last year, and bucks should be cruising between bedding areas checking does. Craig and I hunted together yesterday evening, and we saw a really good 7-point actually. but he was a mature buck and he was with a doe. So call that lockdown period, where they're locked down with a doe, and he wasn't chasing her, he was just guarding her, running a couple other smaller bucks off and just hanging with her. So she's probably close to being in, and he's hanging with her for the time being. But hopefully these bucks, as they breed a doe and then they'll move to the next one, they'll come searching right through here. This is the set I hung when it was raining a few days ago. Got a good scrape right over there. It's been freshened since then. And then in a little bit of snow that's on the ground, I can see plenty of fresh travel, fresh prints. There's a good trail right there in front of me over here, about 15, 20 yards in front of me, and another one behind me over here to my right, about another 15 yards. So they're coming right through here as they head out to the corn. So I'm in here all day, hopefully catch some mid-morning travel, bucks checking does. If not, we'll get them heading out to the corn later this evening. All right, it's Friday, November 15th. I'm back out here this afternoon for some more punishment. Sat out here yesterday from 7:30 in the morning. That's when I got out here. Sat the rest of the day and saw a glimpse of one deer at 9:30, I think it was, running down the hill up there. And then I saw a button buck that come in about noon or so and hung out with me for 2 hours. And that was it. Seems to be in lockdown over here in southern Illinois. Based on what Craig and I saw that, I guess 2 evenings ago, sitting on the cornfield, where we could see the whole field. I mean, we saw a lot of deer, but the one good buck that we saw, he was guarding a doe. So I'm assuming that a lot of does are obviously in right now, and the good bucks are hanging with their partner, and they're not leaving until they get her bred. So I'm hoping this afternoon one of them gets done with his duties and he starts looking for another partner, and he walks right through here. We'll see. Tomorrow is gun season in Missouri, so I'm going to be taking the kids. I won't hunt, actually. I'm going to take Sam. Drew's old enough. He can hunt by himself. And I think my brother's in town. I'm sure he's going to be going. And then Dad, maybe. Back to this hunt, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not overly optimistic right now. But usually that's when it happens. So maybe it's going to happen. I'm optimistic. It's going to happen. Nah, it ain't going to.
Banks Outdoors is the place that connects family.
Oh my God. Thank you. Yeah. That was unreal.
This is the place that connects friends.
Bro, you did it. What a phenomenal story.
This is the place that brings excitement.
3, bro.
Most importantly, this is the place where memories are made.
Dad, I will never forget this moment.
Neither will I, buddy. Neither will I.
Why do I shoot in Indian Creek? He's deader than a hammer. Indian Creek once again.
The break is brought to you by Mech Outdoors, Vortex Optics, and these fine sponsors.
It's the opening morning of Missouri's rifle season. I'm taking my son Sam, and my brother is in town hunting on the other side of the farm. We've got a couple nice bucks on the farm, but they've skirted us all bow season as well as the opening morning of gun season. Sam had a party to go to later in the day, so he wasn't gonna hunt in the evening. I decided I was just gonna run over to Illinois to bow hunt. Since the morning was super slow in Missouri, my brother decided he would just roll with me and run the camera. November 16th, it's opening day of Missouri gun season. My brother come into town to hunt, but yet he's up in the stand with me today in Illinois, bow hunting. He's doing the video on this afternoon, and see if we can make something happen. Back. Down right there. Big 8-pointer, probably 140s, 150 maybe. Heart shot him, he's down. 50 yards. Kevin, thank you for coming with me, brother. I don't think I could have done it by myself because he'd come up so fast. Oh, I think you were sleeping up there, brother. We got it done, baby. Oh, man. 20 yards. I saw him coming. He come the exact place that my buck last year come, except I was on that next hill over there. My buck that I killed last year walked out from the same place. He snuck up on me. I barely got the camera on him. He saw me go to shoulder my gun. He stopped behind the tree and I didn't have a shot. I just knew it was over. And then he just put his head down and walked from around that tree. And he gave me a quarter-and-away shot, walking away, and I drilled him. Just a great buck. Set up in this area that I knew bucks traveled through here. I've hunted here before in years past, and all these ridges and 2 big ridges here and all these hills just come down into this bottom, and this is where deer cross, and that's what this guy was doing. Here it is. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. 3:40, and we're done. It's the rut, baby. The bucks have been locked down here in Illinois for the last few days. We haven't seen any bucks moving. He's out cruising at 3:40, looking for another doe, possibly, I don't know, but he's good. We're gonna go get him because he's already dead right there, heart shot, boom. Yes. Nice shot. Bow hunting Illinois on the opening day of Missouri firearm season. Got my brother Kevin with me running the camera. He come in to hunt this week for Missouri's rifle season, but it was a little slow at the farm this morning. They weren't really moving, so he decided just to come over here with me and video, and I am certainly glad he did because I'd have had a tough time self-videoing this buck. He come in pretty quick. He was at 50 yards before I even saw him as he come out of that thicket. But Kevin did a good job getting the video, and this is a buck that I probably killed about 50 yards from where I killed my buck last year during gun season here in Illinois. But it's just a hot spot. They come off these ridges and cruising these bottoms, jumping from doe bedding area to doe bedding area, and it's been locked down over here for the last week or so. We haven't seen any good deer cruising, but he must have finished up with his doe and he's out searching for another one. He come through right at 3:40, and it was about this exact same time. I think it was 3:30 last year I killed my buck through here. So it's just a good mid-afternoon travel corridor, and he got just a little too close. Heart punched him, he ran about 50 yards, and here he lays. So great buck. Now it's time for Kevin to get him a Missouri buck. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get him out of here and be ready to hunt tomorrow morning. Super pumped for this buck.